Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to do another short video, and this one's entitled Solos. And I'm going to give you my perception of it, which I've done before, and forgive me for sounding like a broken record. I look at it this way, because people always ask me, why don't you do these songs with solos? And there are some solos I've done just to show people that I'm a pretty decent soloist, but that's just not my preference. I love the rhythm, I love the chords, the chord progressions and changes. And it's the chords that build songs, not guitar solos. So, to each his own, because I look at it this way. My solo is my solo. And I mean, the word itself is self-explanatory. Solo, meaning you're on your own, as opposed to copying somebody else's solo. Because I get emails like this a lot. Someone asked me about the Robin Thicke song that I did, I think called Lost Without You. I did an acoustic. And it's a pretty simple song. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but it's not complicated. And they emailed me and said, the number, and they said between minute 2:05 and something, I can't follow what you're doing on the bridge. So I initially thought they were talking about the chord progressions. I said, well, usually my videos are pretty well documented as far as what I'm playing chord-wise. Every blue moon, if I can't figure out the chord or know the name of it, I just put a question mark, but that's very rare that I do that. Or I just give a breakdown as far as, my hands is across the bar, fret on 7, then my fingers or whatever. But so I went to check the video because, I got over 2,000 videos and I don't remember all that stuff. So I went to check on it before I responded. And what I thought she was referring to was the chord progressions that, she couldn't get it. So I looked at it and basically it was the solo I did. Now, 90% of people that do solos is that we improvise. Off the top of our head, we run scales and match notes. It's very rare that you kind of write down the solo, document it. It's like, you know what you need to do within this bar, and they know that, and they let you loose, and you just come up with something. Because here's something interesting. Even as a kid, I noticed this. Like when I did the Jimi Hendrix song for my departed friend Skipper, that the solo in that song is it's not a pentatonic scale. I don't know what scale he's using, and that's what makes this sound so different. Because Prince does the same thing. Prince literally mirrored himself behind Jimmy. No originality there at all, but not taking away from Prince's talent. But there are like two parts in that song as far as solo wise. And I kind of did my own stamp on the first one because I'm like, I can do this note for note, but I don't want to sit here 3 hours trying to figure this out, rewind. It's pointless. It's too much of my time. And the second part was easy, wasn't that hard. I was able to figure it out and I kind of matched it note for note. But the point I'm making is when you hear Jimmy do that live, and I've heard him do it live because I checked before I'm about to make this statement because again, as a kid, I noticed this, and this is before I became a decent guitar player. The people that do their solos, when it comes to doing it live, they never play the same solo. And that's because, again, it's kind of off the top of your head and you're feeling that moment and you can't go back and refill that moment. So depending on, what you're feeling at this particular time is going to be different from 5 years later, having after done that song 500 times live. So again, usually the solo is just something that's improvised at that given moment, depending on your mood and your feel. And then it's different from another time, with the exception of very small bar solos that are kind of like a standard solo. And what I mean by that is the Commodores, easy. There's a little small solo, and most likely the guitar player does that same solo almost note for note live because it's a very non-complex solo. So, therefore, it's, a couple of notes and, it's nothing to remember. But again, normally when an artist does a solo and the next time he does it and the next time it's slightly different. To keep from breaking up the monotony of being bored, to say, I did the same thing before. Let me do a little something different. Because each time when you cut in a song and you have a solo, and you might mess up and say, you know what, I want to do this instead of that. Each time it's never note for note. It's, again, solos are your own self-expression. And that's why I rarely do other people's solos, because that's their own personal expression. So a lot of people don't think about it like from that aspect or from that point, but that's what I look at it as. And that's why, I really do or stay away from the Jimmy stuff, because Jimmy stuff was 90% bass solo, and it's like he's playing his chords and he about to cut loose, so that's my own personal interpretation. But, for people that contact me and say, I need to learn this solo, you don't need to learn that solo. Work on sounding like you and leave the other guy alone. Use him as a template to kind of create your own style, but try not to mirror anybody. Try not to be a clone, because it's not you. You're giving your best impression to somebody else. Who are you? Think about that, because that's how I feel when it comes to solos. That, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me, as opposed to I'm trying to sound like Jimmy, trying to sound like Ernie, trying to sound like Prince. Work on sounding like you. There's no bigger reward than being yourself and people accepting who you are, as opposed to a clone. Because, again, these are my personal opinions, which don't mean nothing to nobody but me. I'm going to wrap up this video. It was basically about solo and my perception of my concept. And for people out there that kind of want to mirror artists, mirror yourself, develop your own style, especially when it comes to solos, because solos is about solo, meaning you. This is coming out of me. This is my expression, note for note, slurred note, bend notes, sustain notes, as opposed to trying to, listen to somebody and do exactly what they're doing solo-wise. But that's just Morris Man's opinion. And until next time, take care.